Kata pakalima. Mano kara fo kulunko. Police station mandi ka sate o sate ndem boyta abere. Hani station ke mawi. That is deliberate. Abele no moy.
Assalamualaikum bademolo hani bi mbaje Kunkujang Keitaya political bureau nal bade malon Suleiman Jam sina ngal lamoy bayo sirfo sonko councilor men gada brikama area council la kuma kanwala.
Assalamualaikum mbading Gambian kolu assalamualaikum mbading momo yalon koy be lamoy kan alal badi malem sirfo sonko aka bayo sonko Gambia comme be sunkaro kon nyamen do nara kafal be ko Ramadan Mubarak Ramadan Karim alma alayen sunkar siandi alma nabatolu mutala alma Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ay natol timma na sabande frolo alma alay neman kafarake alma alay la jonshon ndiye alma alay so jannatul firdaus la mol mel yalon ko wala tatanya alay so fenna me yalon ko ilafta wala insha Allah mbadi wol drong bi leftan se kacha me kachala menna bi wala mu the so called cross carpet me alongo Momodou Sabally aka kana son asontale ala so called cross carpet me alongo ako abe wala kika yalon na faile ni be mamman kan be bulale mamman ni mamman te parita senaka senendi molo because akumata bake to inform people about Kenyan Melialon Abel the Kekan. Akumata Bakele Pruka Mul Kalamutandi, near the Sai Kul Kumas, exposed to the people. One thing never year. Kabring Momodou Sabally Abe UDP Kono, Abe Kodol Kekan UDP Kono. I mean, Mol Malo, I mean, and I will never give him this credit co among our discredit co. He has not been working for the party. He has been working for the party, and I will not discredit him for Kafoko. He was not bringing people to the party. To be discredited. But what is important here and what is clear here, some of the tactics Akamel play. So one thing you need to understand, when you are with me, for example, in Molben Nyokam, there are specific tactics Ika will play. Nini will you don't play those tactics again. You know, especially against those people. Because Nibo Kikandong, you are exposing yourself. Ike Fongola exposed, Ike Fongola Klimbalia, Ike Fongola Wanyal. Because that is the reality. It's like Sabally, about Fongola Wanyal Kang, about Fongola exposed Kang. You know, because it is UDP. And there were some of these actions, Melialongo. Ibe Kekan in UDP. So ni ikobe will kala NPP against UDP. Basically, ike formally wanyari, ike formally exposed. So I think your cleverness in that part, you know, in the kajibe bakele, you know, you should look at that very well. Because you know, yalong kabiliya start, yalang so-called cross carpet in cool kumas. I mean, you keep talking me, Songo Gambia, blah blah, Songo Gambia, blah blah. And then I've been quiet. I just give you tips, not tips all dealer. And then you are like, so, you know, I mean, no. I mean, I know all what you've been doing. And like, coming for it wrong, Sabally, every step I am following you. If I can doubt I am following you. And like, let's say, I know everything. So, let me know what I'm going to go. Let Diamo be, Diamo start let me know I mean, Momodou Fati, Fati Bohol, Lieutenant Diamo start wall back. You see, I know, même follow them drop because me sundin, as staff be sunkaro lokono, anu nkanyim fo mobe wala nyundo nte songo Gambia, inshallah, manyim dua nkana social media drop, kuma kensa fo mole, nkaw dua ale, alma ale ntanga kana, kuma kensa fo mole, anu, wati nkanyim dua ale, nde songo Gambia, na kuma kensa fo mole, nkan ala danu nyino janning kuma nyim molbe la alma ale nsondo mo falling pour na finti katandi mol la ko na même fo aman soto yalon I mean politico mol cameron dunia ko da maldi ba la nte ma mira ko comme dunia ko da mal nte because one thing I believe wala ñu ko bi politician who can make us kafako politician wala kafo no ko okay bi malef moy sali Allahu alam asafo no ko bi mo sella o bi malef moy ta jamodo politician se order dinole. For example, let's say if the president say there is going to be state of emergency, and when state of emergency became ko mobe to le bon le kono. So yalo this mean ko mobe to le bon le kono, motota jamoto. So politicians have that power. So when you are looking for that position, ni be wo palaso nyinina, enyanta ke haklu du bage. Ni bo palaso nyinina, enyanta ka alanya silamo soto. So wala tina mol mel ka foko ha ni be political, kuma ken sama safo no just to get the position. No, because this is a position me alonko. It's a responsibility me alonko. Ala la responsibility lem. Ala la responsibility lem because ni ko mu nyaton koti. I mean, it's like you are a servant of God. Emu ala la servant leti. I mean, you mu moleti me alonko. You are walking towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala left the kulmen ala la bala jomolu abe yamar kam kulmen. So it's not like coming in a political corner drone. You just have to speak. You just have to say all what you want to say. Or you just have to be doing things. Those are not realistic. I mean, I don't want to be those kind of politicians. And I'm praying for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For Allah not to make me to be such kind of politician. For Allah can politician to impress people. I mean that is not the purpose of being a politician. Mamina wolemu dalilo me alonko nyanta kakem panke politician. Especially with our generations. We should make sure we change the dynamic of politics. We nyanta ka make sure na political munu mota ka falling na politik nya kendoke. Na tonya politiko ke na mol fahamundi fenna me ya longo Allah alam wolem fenti me ya longo wala sotota. So wala I just want to expose my man. I want to expose Sabally for him to understand ko Gambians are not sleeping. For him to understand ko we know all what he's doing. We know all the tactics he's doing. Let's start it with Momodou Fati. Momodou Fati Sabally call him as Fati Bohol. Okay. Fati Bohol, this is a guy Mayor Lonko, I first know him, during 2021 presidential election. This is a guy, Mayor Lonko, Akananum pipeline, okay? So, but Kamakananum pipeline, telephone balababul, he having this big okie-tokie, yung telephone balababul, yung, antenna bala, right? So, but what happened was, Kabira started Kanagi, what happened is the intelligence, our intelligence, the party intelligence, our intelligence group, so they suspect like this guy is somebody may trust that, so there have been surveillance in him. Wallahi, the intelligence team of United Democratic Party, Ibeta can survey, they were surveillance in him, about Korosikam. So to an extent, I did not realize ko okay akatara tongo men akatara diamu kang emeba okay so but emeba is somebody me alonko emeba akalang alamuno like it's like amunu malamutale among tara querim back UDP because me akalam talanu emeba there was a time emeba ko another UDP le. So we never had this ko emeba about the UDP le. But we let us understand ko emeba before the election or so and so. Mole meya lonko. Amantara on active politics passe. So this guy Fati Bohol or so and so. Academolity meya lonko. At that point, any emeba kata communicate kam because that was the info. Well, information meya lonko no sort of from our. From our intelligence team during 2021 presidential election. So, imbeje, namol taraka ka korosi, iba kiskam. To an extent, it had not grip. You understand? So they grip him. That was, I think, after presidential election when Molka Ben party leader. So at the Kataraje, Namolia Suspecto is somebody, Meya Lonko, is somebody, Meya Lonko like, Imanla Dal. So kabri malala dal. So inada na ka grip. So kabri a grip. So they call my attention. Like kabri na attention no kumandi. And I went there. You understand? So when I went there, and so like okay at that time, so he was only hoping on me. So because I just couldn't tell him more me alone couldn't say more at that very time. Because Yamuta what homing because there had been surveillance in him for up to around Suto around 4 a.m. Namol na so ya gripped at that very time. So Kabria grip, so Latana and Takumandi, and I was there. Well Nkamemfo ning atara amanga tonya drong left drong for fati bo hold them also and so I think na afoko songo Gambia memfo amanga tonya di ndale na kata ngona mule ko alabula release him to go and I warn him kafa ko leave that place ndala ka diam fati for fati bo hold lemba I want you ni atara ngam memfo amansa to Allah alam ye fintina ya foko songo Gambia ka menso amansa. So from that time the party doesn't trust him. Lala. I just want to say this very clear. So Allah. So Nina Benta Naya Malu because what happened in that very day. So I have not been seeing that guy on active politics and our intelligence eyes are on him all the time. About Korosikang, that has been happening, you understand, because we have the right to have an intelligence among our party, and that's what we have. Na security team, na kullo police also. Guys, Albala ko buela nyela na telephone wale candidate at some point. Well, in the live new cut off, inshallah. So that is exactly what happened on party 1. So Ning M Sabally Gafindi Kafoo ha 41 is a prominent UDP member also. And so look, that was the kind of system M Sabally be menke kanu when he was in the United Democratic Party. I am not saying he was not bringing people to the party. When I say that, I am really unfair to him. I am more motivated. He has motivated others to join the party. That's quite true, right? But this kind of games are also games when he was playing in UDP. So the only thing is, like, he should not play such kind of game on UDP because and they know the kind of game you've been playing. You should always be mindful of playing those kind of games against those people. Because M Sabally need to understand that in UDP. We know him in the Democratic Party. So sifal bulale against UDP. So 41 me akafo, I can tell you Abe UDP le and sobole ba akang UDP wallahi azim UDP what I know nde melong UDP wala na kabrako 41 I was like who. So until and unless when I fongo nyim bondi I video bondi dorong and then this guy shit no and then I know what I know. So the next person, because I don't want to stay long here, this Adi Bojang also and so okay Adi Conte Bojang. You see this Adi Conte Bojang, I want to remind everybody, refresh your mind, especially the followers of NPP Kereng. Mol Melialongo will like a NPP Kereng follow Momodou Bojang program. If you remember, there was a time Momodou Bojang ko I case do sama ko nawek nkol ning muso dole be nyola in brufood. Nawe for muso nyinka ay nawe nkol alich ko sounda la korra konole and nawe nkol they alich him them of ko illegal connection or like so and so nana globo kan war so do no mi Momodou Bojang melka Momodou Bojang follow war so do no ay muso do la history sama na muso do ko nawe nkol ka sounda la korra kono nawe nkol that was illegal connection ala so kono bang also and so na hagilo bakang that history or that story and another kana no Momodou Bojang na NPP Kereng radio. That is the very lady wala mo so nyindi that Hadi Conte, because this Hadi Conte I mean, I don't want to go so personal, you know, because that is not my way. And kana katoge bakil, kana muluma politiko kono on personal because it's not. Ndiajeko is a nasty politic. Among the politic nya kindeti. I don't want to go personal on her. So, but that is the very person. Pour asalo nyama and wodula nyindo nino fodorong. Make your own judge. Ali kalifon la kiti dimulti. Ali alum. Okay, you understand? So that is the very lady, yeah. Pamudu Bojang, I remember it. Pamudu Bojang, a Kafamenoko, you know, Musodo Lemu, I could never call sound that Koranima, blah blah. That's the very lady in Brufut. Okay, what happened is Yamusoni, she is very smart, and Melal Mole Mealonko a smart talent, and I would say she is smart because Musoni Akafutu, you know. I don't want to go to all that. I'm sorry, but I don't want to go to all that very well. So, but Musonying is like ibe kuleto. You understand? Ibe kuleto, and then Purkajoko konye tama. So Musonying have to make herself go another NPP. But to be fair to the lady, Musole me alonko okay. Our parents all are politicians, are all politicians. Kabin Jawara time and our father NCP, you know. Come up, you know, one have to give her the credit. Like I said, the man left me political new nakare ndataje. So Musonying, but Amanke, she's not an active. Let me say in this way, Amanke active politician in the United Democratic Party. She is the UDP, and there has never been a time. It's have to go a group all Samanang UDP. And I want to say a story here. I mean, history dole for jam. Promolia understand. So Menketa, Musonying asula de fenela. You understand? Asula de fenela, okay? Asula de fenomena. Musonying so I am Sabally meet. So Kabaya Sabally meet Kabaya Gonsulo de fenela because they are on a business, you know, a business letter. You know, I mean Anakima and so and so. So but again, right? So Kabring yes I Sabally meet, you understand, pour comme ebe mako le nyadi le pour business on yeta. I ye farnyo le soto farnye, you know, because I remember ko Gambia government ye farnyo band, right? Ye farnyo band pour mo kana farnyo samana ngale remember the kodi yalo wo diamo ketajan. So what happened is Musonying according to akema ye farnyo order kana. So but farnyo nying e man la farnyo nyedum. So you know afanang ayajeko ahambita jumalaya, but because I didn't Sabally some kind of relationship with Kabin Sabally belong UDP. So another like a Sabally meet Kabray Sabally meet I have a Sabally okay, now we're gonna play this game. So Nina game on play I mean because CD is somebody is very powerful in NPP. I tell you this. Momo Kafoo CD Njaman Sembo Soto in NPP. Eke from Nene. CD Njay Sembo Soto NPP. I Sembo Soto NPP. And I want to say this very clearly. So, but because Sabally alone cannot just at all facilitate no. So the basic thing will you go. So now, Puruka Hadin Sidinjai, Hadin Sidinjai introduce. The best thing is now, so I Sidinjai Samanang to Hadis ground. But saying what Hadi Adia Minake, Adinyantaka Minake, okay, Puruka Joko, Ninsi Sidut na Kensenke. Okay, one. Okay, sitting Sabally na yabendu Kulio lefe. That very area. Kulio. Hadila Korani is a very beautiful compound with story buildings and so on. So Programo Nyimang Hadia. Programo Nyingadamendo Kulio lebeje. I want you people to understand. Programo Nyingadamendo Kulio lebeje. Kulio. That very day. I want to make that very clear. Musol Melialongo Asobidu beje. They are NPP gang. NPP la ya company, NPP la Jake Kafoo ni la wote. NPP la Jake Kafoo ni la NPP la ya company ni la wote. And I think in a sister Ram another team Momodou will let her je. Okay? So probably I understand. So now what happened is Hadiya Minake atata yalong jema fong nale akalam tanun. There was a time there was flood. Flood kera nung Burfoot. That area ni nika findi Burfoot Sirif Kunda, that area ni because Hadi lives in that area. Okay? Flood la kete ni samaka da samaka du molkam. So Hadiya Minake he informed the people living in those areas. Kafoo ko saimbe you know najam mafang because joka dunjane anu masakunda yenta kam makole puruka doko janin sama be sila. So na masakunda molu you know nawol na masakunda molu na wala samana pour yena wala nali yela moy albajel hadila ketan modi me yalon wala diam taji but the people mel nata in that area moment diam you people need to be very careful Allahu alam na manke burfoot la wo boyo me yalon ko amanta NPP fonde abe NPP because ala fa palaso la in the Palazzo Diala is working at the hospital. Ni moment father I to save dead ni mo come ni moment father hospital to keto save about do call Kabrian I don't NPP yo Palazzo Diala at VTH about do call right. So but hadi I strictly use purka o mol samana nyoka akoyoko I mean na mol mina janne MP na Masakunda mol mina janne not even NPP call but Masakunda la mol mina janne. So Masakunda la mol mina janne so ni na jang leftelal be na near discourse because leftelal be na near discourse because na flooding ko wonin e be mako le wolto purka jara. That was the statement of Hadi. Hadi was statement on I wole fo wo mahfuto musole. So what they were expecting ko ha Masakunda kol kanale ni na tay be mako le pour flooding kana ken no mafuma. That was the main reason. Okay? So kabi musole na je fanje okono. So they were very disappointed, that Hadiya Samana was Sifala. So now, to make the situation level of Pro Musol Kana Diamo, the following day, Ibote drunk, Iko Mesuguro Samana Alcaloya, Alidanko Alcaloya, Mesuguro Samana. So what the following day, Yesuguro Samba Alcaloya, Budful Alcaloya. So in Anna Omol Kumal, because Omol, Elephant Diamule. Those people, Yemel Teramaje. So he called it Alta Alcaloya and Suguro Sambaji to silence them. Because you see, M. Sabally is it sounds I can left comment carton you go clever, but let me tell you something. I know my brother you are kind of clever, but I can tell you the game you have been playing, you can playing UDP. You cannot play against UDP. Because you were playing those games in UDP. So we mastered the book. So Ning MPP call Malon saying for it. You understand? It can be for it can cross capital is all zero. I'm telling you, all those people they are all NPP. Believe in me. Even you Rumbango, Molmelialongo, you saying that they come to Rumbang. I mean, tell me who among them will I want one of them to show us a video or a t-shirt coming an old picture that it was a Mariba no UDP la political ground. I said this very clear here. I'm going to Lamin Fati Bohol. I mean, he associated himself with UDP. Aka fang munta ya UDP lal. Anum akana UDP la dulato. Bari akana je mena wala kibarta. Kibarta akana je wala kibaru dunche wala matije. Nana taje akala wala. Anu wum fenet me alonko UDP call yo lonne. UDP call yo hamala karolale. So I mean, that is it. And Hadi Fanang, I said very clearly here, Mafoko Hadi is not a UDP member. I want to make this very clear. And I want to make this very clear. Hadi ma mo samana NPP. Hadi abe fenneto. Hadi is on a deal. Abe deal leto. And no abe deal on mento. I mean, that is the only thing I mention to baffle, to play with the minds of the people. They live in those areas in Burfoot. Kapulum mol hakilola, mol melialongo, whatever sabateri in Burfoot or Mafongola, whatever atina and Momodou Sabally, any kind of politic play. This is called politic of scam. Nyamu politic nyamal, the politic nyamal, kamol yapin kang, kamol scam, kamol tapalea, politico, ya wole ke odula nyundo. Wala ngamen folate alamo ya senata. Wala atina abe diabola abe habala mbe dere because I know nkonte findila kanaka kuma fo me alonko amon ko ima because I mean sometimes I don't think that is okay in politics ma mira o mu fenti me ya lonko anyinya da politiko kono ibe no men fo la politiko kono ise illa nyina ko yawmal qiyamati ala subhanahu wa ta'ala bentul be klinkli na kitindilale na kuma kan wol melfo la barakol melke imma in politics. This is why nteka hakilo du bade ma foko I am perfect ma foko ngam membe fo politiko kono abe mu tonyati but nga ala danle abe forum le fo fende politiko kono ay ke tonyati andon ngam mem fali e politiko kono as a senior ibe nyonen ibe monenella ibe jemo play kan against President Barrow and Sabally was playing a game against Sidi Njai and I want Sidi to understand this very clearly that Hadi a man join NPP. Hadi have a mission and I mission on the mission is because they have a supply. a supply all soto nang farnyo they want farnyo nye dung, and the only thing they can do is to go through Sirinja. I know what Sirinja can do. I know how Sirinja involved into businesses. Now Sirinja can involve business or kolonyo nyameng. I know all these things very well. So Majele Fokali, and I want people to make this very clear. Left a Bulfudun call, al salon ko, ikana nene, ikana tulu al hakilola, al kana song, you like a multimedia longo, yena kalke jora multi, gafa yele ko. E ka men soto politiko kono e buka dia tolla e ka dundi fo kunkilo le kunto mol sabo ko ha politiko movement wala ñu ka balu ñu wallahi azim I don't believe in that comment ka balu ñu la politiko kono wala fenti me ya longo mo nyande ka wala ko monde politiko la politiko mu fende me ya longo ise dunia de dala ise banko de dala ise ka bilo de dala ise chateau de dala ndelata wala la anu nde fe ko ndol momo clean na nyande ka balu wo politique nyala la man nyande ka balu politiko me ya lonko mbe kuma la fala mole me ya lonko amon soto politiko me ya lonko mbe tata baluka o metara ka baraka fenne la me ya lonko amon soto wala na nada kanyin senne dalma ka fale ko Momodou Sabally de ala ni recent cross capital me ya lonko kefo e mum fenne me ya lonko e manka fen sotorente e mum fenne me ya lonko is just a mind game, is a mind game play. 41 Party bohol, I was summoning Allah hit men all of you to go. Okay, finally now, I mean, stop NIA, stop, being intelligence, whatever. I mean, I can tell you, this is the game. I mean, the bohol dealer and the contract gold dealer, that is there, fine. I didn't need something, I did a friend in Yinekang, I defend the only thing you can do is to play that kind of game. So, Badul, these are some of the things I want to make very clear. Left like a mentandi mola prumolia faham. Kajoko, Momodou Sabally, and Anna Timomolu. This is the kind of politics they are doing against the. This is the kind of politics they are doing in NPP. Ninen kind of politics me alongo. If I whole play NPP, purka NPP called the Kenene. Kuma for me alongo a mansoto. Kabara politico me yalongo B. Ita play Melka Wallinte. You cannot play the game against UDP. No, I can tell you. So, look, let me tell you something. The internal politics in UDP, from the intelligence aspect in the internal politics in UDP, that alone should take you to understand, I mean, Priya Faham, political nyadile. We know politics, alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah. Now learn the fanam politico kata nyaming. So you cannot fake us, you cannot prank us, because ntolumu molet mele along, alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah. Na fellong politico kono le, and na fello itato le politico kono, or the need a political play long. I play more can mele me long. I play more can any melman jemo play. You understand it? Because ntolumu molet mele along, allow alam, ntol ya lonne. Ila simfanya blue momenti. Don't play the ila game towards UDP. Go and play towards other political parties, because we know your hand. Ne bulo lonne, ne la taransilo lonne. So ila taransilo, ne go play towards us. You'll be exposed. Kana song asondale. So you'll be exposed. Kana song asondale. You will be exposed. You understand? So this is something you need to understand very well, because you can't tell a man song, kana song. But at the end of it, it's sondale. So when you will be exposed. So it's better you be there playing your little card. Yellow German don't play, yellow Duman don't so. But don't touch us, because we are strong. Alhamdulillah, suma alhamdulillah. So this is something me alongo drong lafta purka wole for mole. There are other topics me alongo alhamdulillah lafta ke discuss, but I don't want man lafta topical jakasi. Because I always want ninna drong. I just grab on only one topic. No kacha, no bang, na jump wala. Kamaraba, I tell opposition. Patama, ntola nyingi bisa political party wonying album bulala na free, okay? Album bulala na free ntolu. No. Kamaraba, fatam mula ntola nyingi bisa political album bulala na free. So. Album bulala ntola man saya for 2026 de album son la mita parliamentary la follow in Bissau na parliamentary ke follow parliamentary kola na dibito bungolo o kola sida presidential Kamaraba. So album bula. So that is it. So ñinen fongo do don lefto do inshallah ka men ta ka senen mbade won madro alnal bare malam sirvo songo eke bayo songo Gambia to nado don kan nale kacha badron comme na topic ko men don ka senen dirke kumo lamele ala ko Momodou Sabally anala mulo nala gawo mulo be tikan ko men don ke da ke senen an ka fahamro di alla ka bamandal mako West Coast region is a stronghold for United Democratic Party UDP le tamu West Coast bi iznillah ala la mako ro kam bi UDP West Coast be UDP le bulu alhamdulillah suma alhamdulillah mbe do ko ke kanne mbe West Coast ngolu mbe represent kan mbe kata ko ke ka West Coast ngole inshallah taala rabbi and donc lata ko West Coast will always be on the United Democratic Party and lata ko West Coast be UDP face à la comme 2026 inshallah taala rabbi olem ko me alon ko lafta ko barno baraka bake. Thank you so much. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak inshallah taala rabbi. So this is it. I mean my man it is what it is. It is what it is. Kanaso asondele. Kanaso asondele. So these are some of the few things though inshallah left wrong pour nimole kaja inshallah taala rabbi. I mean MC arama ko la rek anga yow léegi dama daw kana son do laal kana son nak wate na la chokos nga laal kana son a sondel MC a sondel kana son a sondel MC arama ko la ma dugal kana son a sondel Kanaso asondele angole lege da ngane daw kanaso luta ngane daw kanaso jëlal suma call bi de kanaso asondele MC wone jëlal suma call bi nga wax kanaso luta do de bu galal kanaso asondele kanaso asondele MC jëlal suma call ma ne la call jëlal suma call Kanason asondele mana jëlal suma call asondele kanason asondele MC mana jëlal suma call mana nga la call 713 5854 mana nga di ko call bo mana nga di call boy asondele wa so way waa jël naa la ara ma jël la rek ma laa jël si lifin amoon daal dina la mun a lifin sena request bi rek waaw sena request bi rek ma jël la kana son a sontale MC la wala MC
ni be ada kan itu kenyu wada sunu sokla ifta la sa ko ni mo fta de ta